little salvation. Those flags you wave will represent them. The world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. Into history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. So go and bring home the glory alive.
Madness, our old friend.
Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. Into history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to TCWC Tussle. How we doing? How are we doing? I need to figure out why this briefly flashes the old intro screen, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. How we doing? What are you guys up to? You doing anything fun? Or are you just all vibing? So date night was fun. Yes, date nights are very fun when you don't skip them. I'm vibing. Fair. Fair. It's a first. How are you doing, Mr. Tim? It's been a long day. That's all I can really say about today. Today's been a long day. I am tired. I'm sorry if I get a little terse today. But I'm doing okay. This has been a very long one. But I'm plotting. I just had a cotton candy milkshake. That sounds so good. Sounds so good. We ate pizza, watched Netflix, got carried away. Jackson realizing what it's like to not skip date night. Understandably doing well, Toadstool. Understandably. What's a day and night? That is overly accurate for the relationship that Roxy and Cos have. However, before we get too distracted, it's probably time to begin our show. And to start things off tonight, we have a relatively long intro here, as the old gods are approaching the ring. Irina steps into the ring and seizes a microphone. Eric storming into the ring behind her. Irina shouts into the microphone. Lucius, you want to talk about how we need new gods? How we need to sit there and act all high and mighty. You don't disrespect me. You don't disrespect them. Eric scoffs. Your victory, Deacon, is going to be a brief episode in our saga. You want the Wanderer to choose a target? You've done it. I was content before the voyage to leave you and your legion and the testament alone. I was okay letting things go. But you want me to pray to you? You want us to get down to our knees as you give us your sermons? Eureka unbuckles her Vanquisher Championship and holds it into the air. You and Sky want us to sit here and listen? The play is your puppets. I'm a no one's toy. I'm going to offer you all up, and anything Hadrian wants to give us is going to be a bonus. The lights flicker as the Legion's logo appears beside that of the Final Testament. Lucius appears on stage, clapping slowly. You two, claiming you aren't puppets. It's rich. Any of us have to do is speak, and you come running out of the woodwork. Urena sneers from the ring. Find the ref and get in here. The man in a skull mask walks out, laughing. The man in the horned mask beside him. We're happy to oblige. What do you say, Leon? The man in the horn mask nods humorlessly. These two wretches need a lesson in discipline. Wait, what is that? No, Toadstool, no. Of course you did. Of course you did. I don't believe you. I meant explode like boom bomb. It's too late to recover. It's too late to recover. I'm not reading that. It's too late to recover. What's the Shark Boy and Lava Girl reference? He's going to destroy you in your sleep. It is too late. You cannot say that. It wasn't me with the sus comment. Harold, I have pain in places. That is not for me to know. That I don't need to know that. That sounds like a very personal problem. However, let's begin this evening. It's going to be a tag match between the old gods and the Legion. Autocorrect boned me. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Give me just a moment. Well, now you have General Kenobi. Entering first, it is the Legion.
And the participants, first accompanied by Lewis Gray at a combined weight of 425 pounds, Leon Niles and Kyle Darrell, the lead.
That was a good attempt, Mr. Rome, but it is Ezekiel DeVale and Leon Niles representing Lucius's Legion. So I do have to wonder right now what Adrian Maverick is thinking. What? I did get the new camera. I have not said anything about her. I am upon for no man for now.
And their opponents, Eureka Vada and the Wanderer, Eric Elkins.
They are the old gods, and Urena Vada fought her way through the Women's Vanquisher Tournament at Northern Voyage to become your champion. Well, the night did not go the way of Elkins. Lucius Graves at ringside, being your reigning Capital Champion. Eric and Urena have not taken kindly to the comments of the Legion. Especially Lucius, who said they should pray to him instead of their gods. However, refereeing this match, there may be a man you all recognize in Jimmy Law. Or more popularly known, Bayou Jimmy. However, Eric currently having control of the match over the Veil. Ezekiel dragged up, and Elkins with a nice slam. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, but the Veil kicking out despite the damage inflicted. Sir, this is the Melee Arena, it's fine. I'm still getting used to having to change the arena to get to where we want. It's fine. At least we're not in a WWE arena. Trying to go for that elbow drop, but it has missed. And Eric sent into the corner of the Legion. Leon Niles, a former tag team champion as part of the core. However, he gets rolled up by Elkins. Eric trying to find a fast one, but cannot do so. Nice backbreaker. Why are we in the Melee Arena? Why was there a match in Australia last night? Don't worry about it. It's just part of the marketing campaign. Nice cardiac kick found by Niles. However, Leon brought down to the mat, and Vada, not sure what she had in mind completely, but Leon back on his feet and catches Vada. Urena, though, nice Irish whip. This Timmy is a silly man. Yes, Timmy is a very silly man. However, another reversal on the Irish whip. Leon just keeps trying and it keeps not working. But there is an elbow to the face of Vada, and now another double team in from Legion. Getting her picked up into a power bomb, and there is a nice strike. Niles getting off to ringside. The Veil happy to follow the Vanquisher champion outside the ring, but this is a dangerous game. Stomping the arm, and now getting Vada locked into a camel clutch. The Veil quickly loses control of that situation though, but Urena a little bit slow to react. However, nice clothesline found, actually whipping him over. We're up to a 7 of 15. DeVale rolled into the ring, and now Leon chucking Urena in after him. DeVale up in the middle rope, approached by Vada, and actually punching her down to the floor, and now debating how he wants to continue. Lucius hyped up on the side of the ring, but there is a nice counter out of the Shaman. Cross body to follow up. Urena trying to stay on the offensive as best as she can. Can Cos and Dieter fight in Mexico? Not intentionally. Vada finding a counter and finding a roll-up now onto Leon. We've got a 1, but only that 1. Urena needs to keep in mind that she is in a tag match. However, trying to use the ropes to his advantage, Long not having any of those games though. Nice hack under the leg. Vada trying to get out of dodge there. However, Leon tries to go for a cheap shot on Eric. While he does get the strike, he's whipped into that corner and now eating a double team from the old gods. Urena finally remembering that this is a tag match. She doesn't have to sit in there after she's been taken out. However, taken down is Eric. Looking for the pin attempt. We've got 1. Only that 1 for now, though. Continuing on the offensive is DeVale. A longtime ally of Graves, trying to get back on the offense up against Elkins. Off the ropes goes DeVale. So sends Eric off the ropes for DeVale. And finds a nice suplex. Immediately, though, things broken up by Vada. Double team again for the old gods. Functioning on all cylinders, and that is a brutal pair of axe sandals to the back. Leon, I think he's trying to figure out how he wants to continue, but kicked in the face. Elkin's still fighting. Neither one of them finding what they were hoping for right there, though. Lucius for a moment stepping onto the apron. However, that big boot misses, and a kick to the knee is his reward, but Leon misjudged timing on that drop kick. Both of them getting caught with each other. However, roll up by Niles. Only about a 1.5 as his reward, though. Eric trying to dodge out of the way with a much faster Niles. Things are not going to go his way there, but Leon cannot pick up Elkins, and there is a nice Samoan drop. Elkins going for a stomp to the leg, cannot quite find it, and Niles caught again by Elkins, but fighting out of that hold. Off the ropes, nice Hurricanrana found by Leon, who's immediately looking for that pin attempt. We've got 1, we've got 2, no 3. Old Gods need to get their foot back into this match, though. Spending too much time as individuals. It has been a persistent problem. However, nice way to move forward for Eric and Elkins, wisely bringing Vada back into this match. Nice shoulder tackle. Now, unlike yesterday's show opener, no one in this match is fighting again later on in the evening. They can go all out without concern for future matches. Lucius has caught the attention of Vada, again saying that soon you will be praying to me. However, series of elbows to the gut of Niles, and there is a nice knee strike. Irina got Niles. No! Roll up by Leon. We've got one. We've only got that one, though. Nice dodge out of the way by Vada. Irina, though, moves a little bit too slowly off the back end. And a nice suplex found by Niles. There's one. There's two. Leon almost finds the three. And Eric did step in, concerned about how things were going to go. Reversal on the Irish whip, though, and Leon sent over that top rope, but swiftly countered. Leon steps back in, but again gets caught by Irina. And fights his way out in front of Eric. He knew that there was about to be a double team if he did not act quickly. But Irina fighting back. It's a nice set of kicks. And now Scorpion kick takes him down. Looking for the pin is Irina. There's one. There's two. No, three, but that was getting close. Irina dragged back up to her feet, but there is a big elbow strike. And Niles back in the driver's seat. Irina dragged back up to her feet. Vada, though, fighting her way out of the hold. Swift counter by Niles. Follows it up with a nice little float over neckbreaker. Again brought back up to her feet. And now being set up in the corner. But there is a big elbow strike. But sent back into her own side of the ring and off the ropes. Thought she was going to get into the corner. She was about to make the leap to Eric, but could not do so. However, Leon sent into his own corner. Irina slapping him while DeVale watches and wisely bringing Eric back into things. Damage starting to pile on for both teams at this point. But for the in-ring debut of the Legion, they are firing on all cylinders. However, Eric powering his way back up to his feet. Nice combination of strikes. He's got him up for a nice Uranagi. However, kick to the head. Leon trying to fight his way back into some measure of control, but gets caught in a nice little STO. Looking for the pin is Elkins. We've got one. We've got two. No three. Eric, very, very frustrated. But now Lucius again getting his attention. Leon back on his feet. Finds a brutal poison rana. And DeVale back in for the Legion. Ezekiel immediately eating that big boot, though. There's one. There's two. Kick out for DeVale. But that is not what you immediately want to walk into. Whipped into the far corner. Elkins going for a double team along with Urena. Slammed into the boot. And now Vada up to the top rope. Turned around. And no! The senton misses. DeVale moving at the last second. But Urena fighting her way back into some measure control as best as she can. But now brought up. There's one. There's two. But no three. Bounty breaker set up, but does not get the 3 count on it. Vada desperately finding counters again. DeVale whipped into the corner, and Vada bringing Elkins back into this match. The Deacon cannot be happy watching that happen, though. Creative offense, but Leon in to break that up before the count can even begin. Over, roll up onto Elkins. DeVale only gain about a 1.5 for his trouble. However, nice combination and a big slam onto the knee. DeVale remembers what that leg did to him, and he does not want to see it happen again. Key counter yet again for the old gods in that corner. However, there's one, there's two. Well, that may have been the end of the line for many. It is not going to be the end of Elkins. Fighting his way back out of that corner yet again. He's got the man tossed up over his shoulder, and he's about to be made into a broken eagle. Is this over? Not yet. Arena now in for the old gods, finds a nice little moonsault. Right up to the top rope. Is she look at that senton yet again? No, this time goes for the elbow drop, but it misses just the same. Lucius has removed the turnbuckle pad from the Legion's corner. And whipped into that side. DeVale wisely bringing Leon back into things. Vada brought up. No, nice little STO focusing onto the arm and following up with a very nice moonsault. He's hoping it is enough. There's one. Only about a 1.5 though. Jimmy Long is going and dealing with that exposed turnbuckle. A kick to the gut. Vada trying to fight back some level of control. Finds a nice fisherman suplex. Does not go for the pin. And she brings Elkins back into this match. Eric back on the offensive without much hesitation. Nice clothesline found. And now it is Leon's turn to be dragged up. And barely not thrown straight out of the ring. Lucius, though, has distracted Jimmy. And DeVale broke out of the pin. Now Leon isolated in the ring. A lot of cards went to saving him, and there's a nice chop. Looking for the pin now in the corner of the old gods. And that is it. The old gods defeat the Legion. Throughout this match, though, old gods struggling to function as a team for a very long time. Unfortunately for the Legion, things started to get away from them. Eric got rolling, stayed as fresh as he could, and they could not put the finishing touches onto either member of the gods. And decimation was avoided. Wow, they suck. Wibble. Wibble. Jackson immediately throwing shade at the Legion. And how is Gwish doing? How is the Gwish? Bam. And Arena has to be very pleased. Eric, happy just to get one over on Eric. But Arena, I will pray to no one but my own. Hello, Gab. Thank you for looking. However, with that, we are going to be heading into the next match almost straight away. Arthur Graham is in his car as the video begins. Jackson is going to make himself a target of the Legion. He is about to make himself a target. So, Gab, just so you know, for the custom arena thing and refs, you have to go through back roads to do it. You can't just do it normally. I am making a new car thinking of doing like a character from like the 80s rock band like Kiss and stuff like that. You would fit right in with Blade if you go for Kiss. Tell us. Tell us. However, Graham is sitting in his car. All right, listen. I'm having a bit of a trouble in TCWC, and there's nothing more symbolic of that than this match tonight. I'm facing the owner of the damn company. Now, Timmy, don't think I'm going to go easy on you, because I'll admit I'm a little bit pissed off. I'll see you in the ring. He shuts off the video. However, I do have my own words before I disappear for this match. You all keep acting like I'm somehow different than any of you. I wouldn't be fighting here if I wanted special treatment. You expect me to get mad when you beat me? That ain't the meta here. You lose, you move on. You learn, you adapt. You find new strategies. And tonight, I'm going to refine my stride. I am tired of sitting here just passing things by. I will become a Vanquisher champion again. And you will not be stopping me. But with that, I'm going to have to leave you in the near future to go get ready for this match. Jackson, I don't want to be a target. I thought about talking to them about things. all I'm gonna say, Jackson, Lucius is not your type of person. I don't have much more to say on that attempt than that. Lucius is not your type. That man gonna fight you. However, we will be getting into this next match in just a moment. You will be grounded so fast, like in the ground grounded. He beat his sister's boyfriend with a sledgehammer. Correct. Correct. This did occur. However, you guys enjoy the match. I have to go participate.
And the participants, first from St. Paul, Minnesota, weighing in at 274 pounds, Timothy Harrell! And his opponent from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in at 228 pounds, the superstar Arthur Graham!
pleased to inform you that your beloved Timothy Harold will not be returning to commentary for the Unfortunately, for all of you, you will have to do me. No, we will not be building him, bringing him back for now. I do have to admit it's incredibly hard to retract through this mask, but I will do my best. As you can see, he is rather useless at the best of times. So we may be better off. However, I can't just stop the matches from occurring. So, as much as I would like to, I can't just deny you your forgiveness.
In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign 1 billion souls to oblivion.
Very good, Sky, very well. Very good. However, I need to be able to read promos, so you'll have to mind me taking off my mask to read promos, because this is impossible to read through. So give me a moment. Give me a moment. I just got here. What's up with the mask? Fun fact for you, Captain. This is literally Lucius's mask. This is literally the same mask. But we'll go back to that in a moment. I gotta read promos. It looks like once again I've had my division changed. What, Adrian? Scared I'll break too many would-be soldiers if I stayed in the Vanquish? In any case, doesn't change a thing. Jackson Prince. You talk a lot, and I'm really tired of your damn voice. You'll be made into an example. Send your best. I'll break them and send them back. Oh, and Adrian, when I get that Vanquisher title, I will run rampant. I will break anybody you send after me. That's not a threat. That's a fact. Your reign.
Cameron, I see. You're more focused on Adrian than you are with me. You've seen what I can do. You've seen my capabilities. You've seen how much power that I can exert. I don't plan on going lightly. Just because of you, or what Harold says. You see me as a would-be soldier. You say you're gonna break me. You're gonna make an example out of me. What kind of example is an airhead gonna make to a champion? That he's arrogant, self-absorbed, and only cares about one thing, and that's himself. You're more of a narcissist than I am, and that's my entire thing. But I'm not any narcissist. I'm not a normal narcissist, no. I'm a narcissist for the people. I care about the people. And let me get one thing straight. Why do you care about Adrian so much, huh? Got a crush on him? Just go ahead and tell him your feelings. I'll keep the secret. I promise. But enough about that. With a special someone beside me, it's almost like something clicks. I'm doing this out of pure love for the sport. And I want that Vanquisher title. It needs a better home than around Adrian's waist. So, without further ado, I'd like to take a bow and remind you, Mr. Owens, that I am not a soldier. I don't follow anybody's orders. And I am not a plaything to be used and made into an example. I am a wrestler. I am a prince. And I am sitting at the head of the table. And I am sitting on the throne of TCWC. I am royalty. Crowns up. And don't you ever, ever put them down.
Wrong words out of Jackson, and there's also words out of our GM, Adrian Maverick. You talk as if I was a tyrant, Cameron. You and the Legion, you're the ones who started this war. You're the ones forcing me to react. I made my mistake with the clan. I admit that. You think I'm putting people in front of you as a roadblock? You think Jackson is my soldier? No. You have a division, and you have to fight in it, and climb that ladder. You created a war in your own head, and not for the first time. You blame me for your failings? I get it. I'm the management, and I've had employees make foolish choices. And you're one of them. Oh, how are you gonna be head of the table in my house? Different table. However, I am gonna steal the idea of just going camera off so I can read things. So give me a moment. I apologize for the lack of a camera if people want to see my face. But to me, it's far funnier to be Lucius. So, here we are. Asking for forgiveness again. Adrian can talk the talk he wants. Jackson can think he's not a pawn. But it changes nothing. Cameron is going to destroy you, Jackson. The man is a former capital champion himself, and what are you? Coming off of injury? What do you have to offer as a challenge? Tell me. Feel free to speak your words. Because frankly, unlike Harold or anyone else, I've been unimpressed. So impress me. Or don't try and tell me you're anything else but a pawn. Well, this is real awkward for you, Cos. This is real awkward for you. I don't think I care if it's awkward for you. You've made your choice.
First, representing the League, from the Bronx, New York, weighing in at 267 pounds, Cameron Owen!
I am aware of this. I am aware of this video. But for the moment, we have to address other concerns. And number one is why anyone thinks they can deal with Cameron. He is the enforcer, not just one of them. Ezekiel and Leon may have failed me earlier in the evening, but Cameron will not. Oh god, how did Lucius get on commentary?
Mission failed. We'll get him next
Are
time.
you that afraid of me, Nitro?
15 pounds, the narcissist, Jackson Prince.
And look at this man who's trying to say he is not an average narcissist. Look at him. Just stare at this. Wants to tell me to have crowns up. I say, Jackson, crowns down, not on your head. So I think it's time the Legion had a little coup against the Prince. Refereeing this match is the ever-respectable Levi family. However, after a little bit of a technical battle, and Cameron showing that he is multi-faceted, Jackson trying to fight back. Going for that early pin, you can see the desperation. But it only gets a 1 count, as expected. Cameron easily managing to overpower the Prince. And now going straight back at it. Jackson. Cameron, I need you to explain to me how you were overpowered. And Levi, you're just gonna let him break that up dirty? You're not even gonna try to enforce the rules here? Jackson sent flying. As expected. He doesn't even want to re-enter. He's staring up at the man. Jackson finally realizes that if he wants to even have a chance at victory, he has to step back in here. And now Cameron rightfully going for the pin. You're telling me it's only a 2? Levi, I disagree. Lucius, are you aware that you give major Doctor Doom vibes? I've not been aware of this in the past, but it's fitting. However, retribution for that attempt at a submission. Cameron will show you no mercy, Jackson. This guy couldn't get over in a limbo contest. Well, Harold may accept such comments here. I don't believe you could get under if you tried. Which one? Cause like, You made me break character there with that one, Captain. However, Jackson, you're just going to incite his rage. However, is attempting to pick apart Cameron. I need you to stop playing with your food, Mr. Owen. I need you to stop playing with your food. Do not let this land. It's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to fight back now, but Jackson... Mr. Prince, if only you were respectable. There's two. Good counting that time, Mr. Fang. Good counting that time. I'm still confident you missed a three. Baby Rage, I quoted Tim. Baby Rage. And now, Mr. Owen. Looking for his concussion drop, or as I call it, the reprisal. There's one, there is two. Cameron, stop playing with your food. Do not fail me, Wolf. I've already been failed once this evening. And Jackson now, correctly targeting the leg of Cameron. I'm confident Lucius sounds like a pretentious word. And I'm confident, Dangerous Prince, that you are not worthy of Roxy. That is a very nice 630 senton, though. Cameron. Good. Good, Cameron. This guy is a cockroach, Cameron. Then prove it. Because currently you're not doing so. I've told you how you have to do this. Do not fail me. Cameron, get him in the ring and show him how the Legion deals with those who resist. That is not what I meant, Mr. Owen. Good suplex, good suplex. Stay on the offense, Mr. Owen. Nicely done, Cameron. We're catching him unaware. Well done. No! Cameron, do not fail me. Good boy. Good boy. No, no, no. God. Damn it. It is fine. Mistakes can be corrected. That is exactly, unfortunately, what Cameron looks like right now. And Jackson once again moving forward in the Vanquisher division. Suck on my balls, Mr. Vic. Jackson. You are quickly finding yourself on a path you will not enjoy. Very quickly. But if this is the path you've chosen, I would be wrong to not watch you burn.
Here is your winner, the Narcissist, Jackson Prince.
And well done, Mr. Prince. Well done. The only mistake here is you. How you're related to someone like Roxy's beyond me. You said I'm not worthy of her, maybe I'm not. But you're not worthy of being her sibling. Kos is choosing his side here. However, it's an unwise choice. You have people behind you in a wolf. Congratulations. I have a legion. To be fair, the wolf has tried to eat you multiple times in the last few days. Back into character. And despite the failure, I can't linger on it. Even if it is horrendously disappointing. The next match up will be Sin Matsuda taking on my friends Morgan Reed and the Final Testament. DeVale, what do you mean security is coming? What do you mean? You can't keep them away? You win this round, Adrian. But I will be back. Sorry about that. The man locked me away for a little bit. Unwise decision. But I'm back. He forgets I have the key. He's probably well aware I did. But I'm back. And we have a matchup to get to. Adrian, keep better tabs on what people are doing after matches, please. I do not want to be locked in the locker room again. Please. Yes, my ribs are in pain. Cameron, why are you yelling at me? Why are you yelling at me? What did I do? I was locked in a closet. Harold, are you proud of me? Well done for defeating Cameron. I was not expecting it. I mean you no offense, you were coming off of injury, and Cameron's a beast. I was not expecting the victory. However, proud of you I am, to speak in Yoda for a moment. However, the Villain Club do not have their own words for tonight. Well. Looks like sinners wandered into close to the fire, Sin. Sin, I almost liked you. Even with your connection to that so-called Prince Cost, but this week, I end you. I'm not here to play nice. I'm here to hurt you. To make an example of you. To remind everyone that when you cross the final testament, you don't get second chances. You just get burned. Lilith Matsumoto speaks next for the testament. Hannah, last week you told me to impress you. So I did. And now this Capital Championship, it stays with us, still in our family, still out of Adrian's reach. This week we will fight again. And you and I, we're on the same page, same war, same mission. We keep control, we hold the power. And when the dust settles, they'll see what happens when chaos and order work together. Sky Flores is slowly focused on by the camera. Urena, you call yourself a shaman. You speak of gods, of flames. And you want to offer me to them? Try. I've stood in fire before. I've felt pain. Most wouldn't survive. Let's go ahead. Chant your little prayers, cling to your title. But know this. That Vanquisher Championship doesn't belong to you. It never did. And it was always meant for us. And when it's taken from you, you'll look to the sky for help and find only silence. Because your gods, they're gone. And the final testament and the Legion were all that's left. So let me catch up on what things are going. How'd you get locked in the closet in the first place? Look, I'm calling the locker room a closet. I was in there after my match, being checked on by medical staff. And someone stole a key and locked the door. It was great. It was great. Luckily, we got out quickly. I'm at 4K, only 2K more until I get to be put into the game. Steven, all you have to do is ask, and you can be put in. You are family. You are different. No problem. So still have a good night. I'd like to clarify. I'm not particularly siding with Adrian, more so siding against Lucius. And I'm proud of you, Harold. You came out of the closet. Put me in, you bum. Fine, 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 fine. Fine, fine, fine. You will find a way. We'll find a way, Dr. Peters. I shall make you. And Captain versus Harold sounds like a very fun matchup, Captain Pie. I could not respond to that comment until now. However, let us get on with the match. As we do have Sin Matsuda versus Morgan Reed in just one moment. And give me just a moment because Lucia's voice dried my throat. I don't think I've done that for that long. Your match is coming up, Cole. I love how much we made Harold break character during that. I'm so easy to break character for. It's so easy to do. However, where are the tag champions? There's one of you. There is the other. Why are you guys so happy to make me break character all the time? So easy to do. That was a very fun shot. Everyone being in character made that so much more fun. It was very fun having us all in character. Oh, we're in character? Money! Cole already knows the assignment. Oop. Oh, there's only so many people you can have in. That's right. Give me just a moment. My screen is freaking out on what is attempting to tell me. I just finished the Jeopardy questions. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna get so wrecked in that Jeopardy. I'm sorry. I have to reset up the match because things broke extremely badly. Then Matsuda, Morgan Reed. Refereeing this match, it is going to be Madeline Kynes. Not a problem, Gab. Have a good rest of the day. Sorry for the weirdness that you will witness. There we go. Good lord. The game, not a fan of how many people are going to be walking out in this match. I know you've been here for a bit. You just witnessed a lot of weirdness in that minute. Entering first, it is going to be Villain Club's Sin Matsuda.
And the participants. First, from Yamaguchi, Japan, the Warrior Princess, Cynthia Matsuda.
Angelo and Suzuki giving her a lot of space to make her own entrance here tonight. But we'll have to see if Sin can get off to a better start here than she did up against Aaron Case. But are we all too sweet for the club? Oh, that's right. Give me a moment to re-enable my face so you can witness my greatness firsthand. Because we all know you guys are all just here to watch my face and not your wrestlers. Witness. I need to be graced with greatness. However, entering next and representing the Final Testament and the Legion, accompanied by Sky Flores and Callisto Grace, it will be Morgan Reed. We have wrestlers. Just chatting has been enabled. And refereeing tonight, it is Madeline Kynes. However, going for an early fill-in lock. Breaking out relatively quickly, though, it is Sin, and off of the ropes goes Matsuda. Nice dropkick found on to Morgan. Hello, invisible guy. Nice takedown. And Morgan finding a nice combination back into some level of control, and Matsuda unable to fight out before the knee is dropped onto the back of her neck, but she cannot stay in control on the part of Reed. Sin recovering and trying to get back into control, finds a nice takedown into a roll-up. We've got no count on it, though. Both of them trying to find the upper hand now in a brute force grapple. Currently, Matsuda, though, actually in control of things. Headlock applied, but sent off the ropes. Big back elbow out of Morgan. And Reed now getting repeated kicks to the head of Sin. Now Morgan here is a former Vanquisher champion. And I am sure she would love to get her chance back at that belt. However, Matsuda finding a key counter for Villain Club. And there is a nice takedown. Sin looking for the pin, but I think it's a little bit ambitious. We've got one, but only going to be that one. Double stomp and rolled over. Big knee to the side of the head. However, Reed back on her feet very quickly to the point that Sin does not know how to react. But taking her time too long, fear only lasts so long. And distracted by Suzuki. Big kick out of Sin, looking for the pin onto Reed. That little attempt at a comeback was shut down. However, sweeping the leg, it is Morgan trying to regain the upper hand here, but a kick to her own knee, and it is Sin dodging out of the way of that shot, but unable to get things going fast enough. Breaks out of the hold yet again, and Sin does find a dropkick this time. Brought back up to her feet. Nice set of strikes, and Matsuda. Nice suplex onto Reed, and Morgan dragged closer to the center of the ring. Neither one of them falling for the old trick of accidentally giving your opponent too much time to be near the ropes. However, nice SOS. However, again, Suzuki proving vital here for Sin. Distracts Morgan Reed for just long enough and slammed into the corner, but Morgan fighting back. Callista and Sky both just watching and waiting for now. And Reed now sizing up Matsuda. Gets it turned around. Nice Psycho Cutter. We have got a 1. We've got 2. And moments away from a 3, but a pin it is not. Tries to go for that clothesline, but slaps across the face before she can land it, and a headbutt. Sin trying to regain some amount of initiative, rolls out of the ring and now waiting inside for Morgan to follow back in. Gets control for the moment, sent into the far corner is Reed. Matsuda, though, distracted by Callista and happy to take advantage with a wicked forearm. Reed now up from the top rope, calling Sin back up to her feet. Nice clothesline. Stomp to the arm and now trying to get back on track even more. Reed and Sky were forced to fight it out for a spot in that Vanquisher tournament, but there is a wicked back fist out of Matsuda. No 3. Sin is now stomping at the hand of Reed. Both of them have survived barely. Angelo now going after the corner. Immediately trying to handle the situation. Sin up from the top rope, calling her back up to her feet. Nice drop kick. And wisely not going for the pin while Madeline was distracted dealing with the corner. Turnbuckle pads, a frequent distraction here. Helps when the hand is loaded. I was waiting for you to mention it. Sin does indeed have a metal plate in the back of her hand from a previous injury. Using it to her advantage now, but both Angelo and Suzuki keeping her distracted. However, Sin Major error. Thought she had more time than she did and dropped back first onto the apron. Turned around, and an H-bomb may end the line. Brought up and nice. Little pump handle power bomb there. Matsuda rolled back into the ring, and she is looking completely out of it. Up from the top, nice splash. Looking for the pin is Reed. There's 2, but no 3. Fighting her way out is Sin yet again. Stomp to the back of the arm and trying to get in control of things now. Oh, kick to the head and sent up yet again for that pump handle bomb. But rope break call quickly made. Potentially questionable. But we've had too many problems of rope breaks not being noticed that I will take some ones that potentially should have been missed. However, Sin and Morgan were lining up for a brawl. But Matsuda finding another one of those brutal back fists. Sin desperately trying to get set up in the corner for some breathing room, but Matsuda not giving her any room. Up from the middle rope now goes Reed. That goes Reed, but goes Sin. And Reed back on her feet. Eats that crossbody / shoulder tackle. Now what you think that one was. And now, nice splash. Matsuda trying to put Reed away. And she does. It has been a bad night for the Rebellion. And Sin picks up her first win over a former champion. Yuri Rose has got to be watching that one with some interest. It was Morgan Reed who ended her undefeated streak, and now Reed has been put away by Matsuda. And both of them have a lot of road to make up if they want to get back to that Vanquisher Championship match up against Yurina Vada. We see just how much damage they both inflicted in this match. And there is the final splash that put her away and gets Sin her first singles victory. Lot of big talk tonight out of the Legion and Final Testament, but falling short. And Cole, your match has now arrived. I believe this match is the only one that does not have promos. %100% Sin got saved by rope breaks. 100% Sin got saved by rope breaks. That was a very, very close thing. You are just fine, Cole. Jackson also said nothing, and that's on me. And it's Jackson Rusakis, not Jackson Prince. We do have multiple Jacksons here on the same show, which is not helping my ability to figure out what's happening. At least you lost to the first ever two-time Revolution champion. That is true. Drew did immediately go on to win that title.
And the participants. First, from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 203 pounds, the Mogul, Cole.
I'm excited to see Nitro's first entrance with the new motion, and how I just found out that Kenny Omega's motion's in the game. To be fair, not one you might expect. However, making his way to the ring, it is perhaps the richest man here in TCWC, Cole Winslow. Man made a point of buying a belt signed by the Dangerous Prince. You're getting there, Invisible Guy, you're getting there. So this version of I Bring the Darkness is under King Corbin, I believe. Burn the Ships is still the one if you go for Baron Corbin. The original End of Days is not in the game. Though I've been tempted to put it in the game, because I love the original I Bring the Darkness. But this is the one from when he was King Corbin. Glorious being in the game was so good. Cole, do you want Glorious?
Lake, Minnesota, weighing in at 205 pounds, Jackson Rosaka.
And a man who has been trying to get back on track. It is going to be the Finnish American Rusakis. I'll make that happen, Cole. I'll make that happen. Crap, I still need to fix your Tron. No, I forgot about the Tron fixing. Sorry, I can fix your music. I still have not fixed your drums. God. However, refereeing this match, it is going to be Sarah Tanner. Got off to an early start, but that senton miss is going to be rough. And Rusakis trying to get back a little bit of control here. Trying to get the air pressed out of the lungs of Windsor, but there's one that is only going to be a one before he gets rolled up himself. Both of them now going back and forth. Nice backslide pin attempt there. However, cannot get any real pin attempt, but there is a nice dropkick out of Rusakis. Windsor Not finding a counter just yet, but as I speak, does so. Ruseika's eating multiple big kicks to the jaw and a big forearm. Knifeville coffin drop. Windsor in control for the moment, and Jackson cannot get back into control, at least yet, but does quickly overpower Windsor when it comes to this grapple. A clean break. I'm a little surprised, not gonna lie. However, straight back to where they left off, and Ruseika's again overpowering Windsor into the corner. But the breakup this time is not clean. Windsor goes for a cheap shot, but Ruseika's back in control. Nice takedown into that kick. Why do these only happen in my matches? There's one. There's almost two. I like the chain wrestling sequences, personally. However, brought up in a power bomb, and nicely delivered sit-out bomb from Ruseika. Off the ropes, finds a moonsault. We've got one. We've only got that one, though. Trying to get that kneeling cloverleaf locked in, but cannot quite do so. What happened to Ruseikis' arm there? But there was a nice little eye of the hurricane style elbow drop. Those names for Ludwig and Giovanni predate me. That's all I can say there. However, nice natural selection up from that middle rope. Ruseikis trying to find the pin off of it. Actually gets it. Windsor unable to survive the natural selection, and Ruseikis brings home a win. So I don't know why resiliency wasn't used, but I will say, Cole, signatures do frequently end matches here in TCWC. Because of the settings I use, they typically get a lot of damage done before the first signature actually lands. But I have no idea why resiliency wasn't used. But Ruseikis pushing forward. That was a very fast match, relatively to how the night has been going. However, with that, we are into our final 4 matches of the evening. It is going to be up next in the Capital Division, Rena versus Angela Lopez. And we will have to see who can get off to the right start to start this drive towards the title. Will it be a member of the Final Testament, or will it be the Latina mommy in Lopez? But with that said, there were words from Angela before this match. Lopez stands in front of the camera, berating the camera operator and calling him names in Spanish. Rena, Rena, Rena. You and your little crew might be successful here, but in my yard, You're nothing but a mid-card jobber. Well, I held the top prize. I have remade myself in fire and fury, and I'm not just back anymore. You and everyone else will burn by my hand. Latina heat is going to turn the temperature up to well past the melting point, and I'm taking all my doubters out, fairly or unfairly. Nothing is going to stop me, whether I lie, cheat, steal, or bribe. Latina heat always stays winning. So enjoy being able to walk around here, because pretty soon you'll all be burned to a crisp. And that's a promise I intend to keep. Angela lights a sign on fire, and it goes up in flames, spelling out Latina heat. I am sad that Cole is struggling at the moment. I will probably take a look into his stats, because if he has low pin kick out, unfortunately the settings I use are probably not being overly friendly, and I will fix that. Unfortunately, in TCWC, a little fun fact for you. Relying on resiliency does not always work out very well. As we actually saw in my match up against Arthur Graham, I have resiliency. Graham does not. I lost that match. But I'll take a look into the stats and see if I can make things a little bit more well-functioning. However, Rena versus Angela Lopez in just a moment. Go right ahead, Cole. If you want to send me the information, if I recall correctly, Damacons didn't make them for you, unless I'm mistaken. So if you want to send me what changes you want to have made, just let me know. I can't promise they'll happen immediately, because it's me. I am a forgetful sir, but it's fine. And refereeing this match, it is going to be Xavier Knight. Where are you, Xavier? Where are you, Xavier? There you are. Just buck him a bunch. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Participants. First, from New York, Ray
Mike Rome, that was a wonderful attempt But just like all of last season, it is Rena. Once of Havoc, and now the final testament. Rena has not gotten off to the start here that I think she would have liked. She was a very long-running Vanquisher champion throughout most of last season. Things have just not gone her way.
And her opponent from Roswell, New Mexico, Angela Lopez.
And entering next, it is the Latina mommy by her own self-proclaimed name, Angela Lopez. You'll have to see if the Latina heat is going to be enough tonight. It has failed to be a few times, but it has not stopped her resolve. I'm looking to get off to a much better start to this climb up the rankings. We'll have to see what she can do. Ready to try and call this match fairly. Rena going for a kick before trying to get a lockup. Am I the only one that tells Mike to shut up? I believe I just say good attempt, Mike. I don't tell him to shut up, I give him a little bit of encouragement. However, an exchange in the chain wrestling. Rena back in control after Angela had an initial advantage in this hold. Hammerlock still locked in. A lot of pressure onto the shoulder of Lopez. And Rena with a nice takedown. Trying to keep herself a little amped up. And now Rena locking back in. She thinks she has found an advantage over Angela. Unable to get a grip into a real lock. Gets in the corner in a disrespectful break. Knight chastising her for it, but Lopez currently back in control. And now Angela gets caught with a big power bomb and looking for the pin now. Only getting a 1 count. But to the head, and Angela now lining her up for a nice roll-up. Knight quickly into the pin. But broken up before a 1 count DDT now. Angela trying yet again to get pin onto Rena. There's 2. Damage starting to take its toll onto Rena, it seems. Cover stomp to the head, and now Lopez trying to get into some measure of control, but cannot really do so quite yet. And this grapple has gone the way of Rena at every juncture. And again, a dirty breakup. Knight getting a little frustrated with Rena. Knight is one of the refs that we have seen actually go after a competitor here after they pushed his buttons a little too much. Now looking for the pin is Rena. If I recall correctly, it was Rachel Quinn, after having smacked Xavier Knight, whether intentionally or unintentionally, several times, who got attacked by Knight during a match. However, An exchange of control. Angela currently in the ascendancy. However, that neckbreaker has failed to land. An immediate takedown from an enraged-looking Rena. Repeated strikes to the head of Angela, and the Latina heat might be starting to cool. How are we only 5 matches in and have 2 hours on the stream? It's me. That's how. I talk a lot. However, nicely delivered suplex of a sort. And now swung around. Nice. Attacks onto the back, but now it is Rena who is set up by Lopez. Angela with a big drop kick to the back of Rena. And Lopez is going for a round 2, but lost control and is taken down by Rena. And again, Rena looking for the pin. There's 1. There's 2. Almost, but not quite. Brought up. And a Black Widow locked in. Is this enough for Rena? Not yet. Breaking out is Lopez. But Angela in control for the moment. But Rena breaks out of the hold. I think there might be Rena's knockout approaching. And indeed there is! Lopez is down. But is she out for a 3? Not yet. Rena up from the top rope is calling Angela back up to her feet, and there is a nice takedown. And going straight after the arm. Angela needs to start finding serious offense yesterday if she wants to get back into this match. And she is starting to get there with another nice backbreaker, hoping it's enough to keep Rena down. But it is still only a 2 count. Back up to her feet. Nice suplex. But still not done is Lopez. Angela's been going for a lot of fast pin attempts and going for another one. There's 2. Angela's looking more and more desperate by the minute. Rolls out of the way from Rena, but now Angela got her up into a power bomb and dragged into the center for a nice sit-out bomb and another pin attempt, but still not enough. The insult to injury does not land, and the Black Widow is back in. Is this over? Letting go of the hold of her own volition is Rena. This combination of strikes, she's not looking for the RKO just yet. Does not think it is going to be enough. And now Angela trying to get back up to her feet and punted off the apron with that shoulder tackle. The final batch is happy to be where she is right now. Pacing back and forth, a little bit annoyed. Angela is stirring back up to her feet on a 4 of 15. However, misjudges the distance and has been rolled back up by Angela. Has Rena misjudged? Not yet. But the RKO again coming out just a little bit too slowly and countered before it can even begin. Angela got Rena right where she wants her, it seems. Nice Hurricanrana delivered. And she is going to need a big counter. But Angela finds that frog splash and goes for the pin. Is this over? No, it is not. Rena kicks out and is still trying her best to get into control. She catches her from that powerbomb, looking for the pin. Has Angela made this mistake for the second time since returning? We saw one of those power bombs take out Lopez, and there's an RKO. I think Angela might be out for her own siesta at this point, and she is. The final badge takes the win. Angela could not find serious offense up until that frog splash. It may have taken 2 RKOs, but Rena finally getting some momentum.
In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign a million souls to oblivion.
Thank you for your input, Scott. But can Rena climb up the division and get another title under her belt? She is a former women's tag team champion and a former Vanquisher champion. But can Rena make that a capital championship run? However, next match up, we're into the final 3 now. It's going to be Damikos Anderson making his Capital Championship debut. While he may not have gotten off to the division as he would have liked, he has still made it. If Rena gets the capital, she becomes a Triple Crown champion. Does she really? Yeah, she'll have had all the available belts on the show. That's crazy. Urena's trying to become the first Grand Slam champion at the rate she's currently going. But can people outrace her in that? That's the real question right now. But there is a promo before this match coming out of Damikos Anderson. Northern Voyage, who you earned that win. No excuses from me. The Escalation Championship, it's in the right hands. But this week's a new chapter. Capital Division, my first match. And it's against you, Dieter. Fitting, huh? You and I always just missing each other. Even when you were part of the dynasty, we never crossed paths. That ends tonight. I've watched you call yourself the People's Blade for a while now. Tonight, I get to see what that really means up close. I don't want a handshake. I don't want a speech. I just want me to bring everything you've got, Dieter. Make this a welcome I'll remember. Because I'm not here to blend in. I'm here to make it to the top. Van Stel watches the promo and grins. No speeches tonight. Fine then, fine then. But the people get what the people want. I'm interested to see what someone of the escalation can do. And with that, the match will be coming up shortly. Yeah, but I bet it's a fire promo. You trust my ability to do promos too much, Dr. Peters. Demogorgons, Rita and Sky are both one belt away from being Triple Crown. Sky is 2 away from a Grand Slam. That's what I thought. Sky's trying to get the Grand Slam right now. Both her and Urena are 2 away. Sky will have to go over a show to be able to get hers. However, match will be beginning very, very shortly. Stand back! A hurricane is coming through. Hasn't stopped her before. This is true. This is true. I just think that the current top half of the division over on the Ascendant side of things is a little less caring about what people think about them than the likes of Zofia. If you catch my drift. Then refereeing this one, who has not made their appearance yet. There we go. Didn't Marcy want revenge on Sky for ruining her feud in AEW? I think Marcy gave up a little bit after that, I'm not gonna lie. I started watching Bob's Burgers and you're like, wait, you just started watching Bob's Burger, Dr. Peters? I would have thought you watched that one like when it came out.
And the participants, first from Worcester, Massachusetts, weighing in at 200 pounds, King Anderson!
Accompanied by Olivia Young and representing the Nexus Club. It is the Dangerous Prince, the self-proclaimed villain, Damokos Anderson. I don't remember people's names. I need to look up who this is. How do you... I take offense. I take offense at this. At least I remember this guy being kind of a ditz. That call is done. His name is Harry Spring. I'll let his story to the back of the perfect movie. Perfect.
And his opponent from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 242 pounds, eFed.
And his opponent for this evening is going to be a former Capital champion, Indeed Van Stel, the People's Blade. But can the People's Blade defeat the dangerous Prince? Damikos already has Eric Elkins under his belt as a former Capital champion that he has beaten. But can he do it again? Refereeing the match is going to be Natalie Elright. And immediately it is going to be Dieter looking for a roll-up onto Kos, but cannot make it very far. Both of them now exchanging this. You know what I'm really excited for? Kos versus Buster for the hardcore title at Summer Storm. That match is about to cook. I am concerned about how that match is going to go. I'm not going to lie. However, Kos with the Salvation style DDT and looking for the pin. He's gotten wins with that before, but it won't be a win this time. Van Stel is taken down with a sling blade, and there is a big dropkick. Kos did not take kindly to that roll-up attempt. Set up on the ropes. Kos, no, going after the arm of Van Stel. Olivia happy to observe for the time being, but we are back into a little bit of a grapple. Now, Dieter can get the overhand, can get the upper hand via brute force. But I think if it comes to straight skill, it is going to favor Kos. Damikos is a very long time veteran of the technical game, and Dieter much more known as a bit of a powerhouse than as a technician. And proving that right there, it is Anderson taking him down off of that grapple, and still trying to recover is Dieter, but he does not recover fast enough. Dieter still downed while Kos tries to get hyped up inside the ring. People's Blade slow to make it back into the ring, and not giving him any time to breathe is Damikos. What were they even trying to say there? I don't even know. Anderson taken down with a spine buster, rolls out of the ring to get himself some much needed air. Pops back in, but evaded. Olivia went onto the apron for a moment. I'm not quite sure what she was trying to do. But that little distraction actually got Dieter focused away from him, and now actually locking in a bit of a villain lock of his own. Sleeper hold, though, broken up very quickly. Set up across the way, telling him, give me some more if you want to call yourself the People's Blade. Off the ropes. Nice knee strike. Was Olivia trying to cheat? It's possible. I honestly don't know. Nice step up forearm. Next to one hand, Devka's been up and up, but Buster is quite unstoppable, especially in hardcore matches. Coast is also not the most consistent Kaw in the world. So he can be in the up and up, but Buster concerns me because Buster's very consistent. Nice spear out of Van Stel. I've seen stronger punches than a drop blood back. I don't think anyone but me and you in this chat right now knows what what that even means, Dr. Peters. However, looking for the pin onto Coast after that spear. Gets about a 2.5, but it will not be a 3. He's got him up, and the blade will fall. Coast down. Is it over for the Prince? Not yet. And Dieter tries to find some more, but finds himself rolled over in a pair of forearms. Coast fighting back, even if it is a little bit of a desperate streak. And now, off the top rope from the apron, finds a nice knee strike. And now, stomps to the extremities of the People's Blade. He is getting Van Stel lined up for the cold shot, but Van Stel's having none of it. Gets out of the way, finds a clothesline, and Dieter up from the top rope. Finds a nice clothesline yet again. Rolls out of the way, but caught immediately. And now a brute force Dragon Sleeper. One that is a little bit too desperate. Coast breaks out very quickly. Now off the ropes. Nice Sling Blade. Immediate rope break call. And Coast goes straight back to work on the leg. Honestly, I know it's a true story. And if I recall correctly, that's like one of your biggest traumas, Dr. Peters. I'm assuming it's a Minnesota thing. It is kind of a Minnesota thing. It is much more of a localized thing. Nice splash out of Coast. He's going straight back up to the top rope in a coup de grace. But he's not even done yet. Getting this man lined up. RKO has landed. Is Van Stel put away? There's one. There's two. Dieter survives for now. And he is not happy. Immediately looking for a roll-up, but kind of a desperate decision. And that was a bad use of that pop-up, it seems. Immediately countered. Forced to fight his way back up to his feet, and he cannot get the advantage. Gets caught. Big super kick to his side of his jaw, and the Dangerous Prince going after the head of Dieter repeatedly at this point. However, step too far. He is caught. But the blade will not fall. Escapes in the nick of time. And now being eyed up by Damikos. Nice stunner. But a rope break was called. Splash immediately follows. But a kick to the head. Dieter back on his feet. Off the ropes, but the spear will also not land. He is desperately trying to recover in the corner. Dieter has found himself countered at every juncture since that first blade fall. Dropped across that top rope, and now trying to continue the work is Dieter. He's not looking for the pin, but I think he might want to have to start betting for an exhaustion pin. Both of them back on their feet. Clothesline is evaded. Coast eats a punch to the back. Fights his way back up to his feet, though, but gets taken down into a roll-up by Dieter. Is this over? Not yet. However, gets caught on approach. Nice Samoan drop found by Dieter. And a vicious right hand out of the Austrian veteran. Van Stel trying to punt him off the apron, but fails to do so. Big knee strike, but Natalie taken out in the process, and there is a roll-up. But Natalie is just out. Man was down for well past 3. But Elright is still down. Nice dropkick found. Kos looking for the pin attempt. There's 1. There's 2. There is 3. But Elright was out. And Damokos was down for more than a 3. Controversial finish. And not for the first time is Dieter on the back end of a ref being either unable to make a call or making a poor call. One way or another, the Dangerous Prince has found his win. Coast, why can't you win clean right now? Why can't you win clean? Why did it have to be that messy? Why did it have to be that messy? However, villains never win clean. There's a reason I call him self-proclaimed, though. I mean, you are the one who hit the ref. Dieter did not hit the ref. Your knee took out that ref. Your knee hit both of them. You took out both of them, Ghost. You took out both of them. Should Natalie have been in a better position? Yes. However, the next match up is going to be a rematch for the Men's Vanquisher Championship. It is going to be Fletcher Stud taking on Lance Gage. Where is underground? There is underground. These ones cannot be special guest either way, so we're just gonna skip to it. Cost needs to be a smooth criminal. Give me just a moment. RKO your boss one time and you never live it down. You seem surprised. You seem surprised. Why are you surprised?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Men's Martial Arts Championship.
Entering first and looking to regain his title, it is going to be Fletcher Stud. Now, Northern Voyage got away from him very, very quickly. And while people may be booing him, there are definitely portions of the crowd that love this man. Looks like he is fighting to regain his music too. You never got couched for brass knuckles, though. You never got. I love that couched is just a term in this chat now. We all know what couched means. However, entering next, it is the Gauge of TCWC, who's finally getting stuff put together for himself yet again. Lance Gage. He won this title in a stunningly fast victory over Stud. But can he do it again? Gage was a former Skyline champion, but after a long period of falling, he has refought his way up in the Vanquisher division and potentially might be hoping to regain a spot in the Capital division. They really do. The smoke for Edge's entrance needs to be so much thicker. I feel that way about most of the smoke, but the only smoke that's of a good thickness is Gigi's.
Introducing the challenger.
I'm not even sure that Pyro's going to be in the game next year.
Weighing in at 266 pounds, Flyboy Fletcher Stud. And his opponent from Newport, Wales, weighing in at 239 pounds, the Men's Martial Arts Champion, Lance Gage.
Vanquisher title on the line, and as a reminder, as you can see here, there are no countouts, no pinfalls, only submission or knockout. Lance finding a counter to Fletcher early on, however, misjudges the speed of that punch, and after a big series of strikes, it is actually Fletcher in control of things. Gage of TCWC does find a counter. That clothesline does strike, but it is not with enough force to take him down. Completely misses that clothesline there, though, and a nice atomic drop. Stud tries to go for a punch, but cannot land it. And now brought onto the shoulders of Gage and chucked straight outside the ring. I don't think a TKO... Well, actually, no. So, in terms of a 2K match, a TKO is just a knockout. Because there's not rounds. If I recall correctly, what a TKO is in, like, boxing, I don't actually know what it means in MMA, but in boxing, if you go... Like, if you fall 3 times, it is a TKO. It's not an official knockout, but you have lost off of the amount of times that you have gotten dazed. That is my memory, anyway. However, nice set of kicks, and now trying to get back on the offensive. Stud continues that series, and another atomic drop. Finds a number 2, but there's not going to be a number 3. Lance cannot stay on his feet. A TKO is referee stoppage in MMA. Okay, that makes sense. I think the Flyboy facebuster was being lined up, but it did not land, and now Gage lining up the Gage breaker. But is it going to be enough? Not this time. Fletcher gets caught when he tries to find something overly fancy, but he does break out of that hold from Gage. Fletcher speeds up and tries to get behind Gage and chucks him out of the ring this time. And Stud follows but cannot land. Gage eyeing him up and just waiting for him. Fletcher back on his feet. Lance looking a little bit confused. Stud back in control for the moment, but backs off relatively quickly. I really need them to stop going to this side of this ring. This side of the ring breaks the AI. Please stop going to this side of the ring. Gage drags him up for a big powerbomb. And not stopping just yet. But Stud finds a much-needed counter. But does not start moving. Give me a moment, lads. We're just going to get this back into the ring. And hopefully they will go elsewhere. Get in the ring. Stud, get in the ring. Stud, get in the ring. No, stop. Stop it. Get in the ring. Get in the ring. There we go. Nice! Forearm out of Stud. And now Stud has got the man up. Don't, no! God! Stud! Why? Stud, why? Why?
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth,
You had one
awaiting
job!
merciful oblivion.
Don't go back to that side of the ring! God! Thank you for the follow, TWJ Ultra. Don't mind me losing my mind. God. Let's try this again. Stud. No. God damn it, Gage. Gage. Just let things happen, please. Into the ring. Stay in here, please. Ah! Neckbreaker found by Fletcher. And now, Stud. I'm gonna lose it. I'm about to lose it. Nice counter found by Stud. Trying to get him lined up for another Flyboy facebuster, I imagine, but cannot do so. And now being asked how well he measures up. So far, not knocked out. But I don't know how much more Stud can take. Shots back into the apron. And Lance trying to just get back to business as usual. However, nice counter found by Stud. Gage and Fletcher do re-enter the ring. That spear is countered. Stud, for the moment, is in a moment of control. Colliding with the ref, though. And now, lined up is Lance. Flyboy facebuster does land. And now, camel clutch. Is it gonna be enough? Gage will not tap. Going back after him, trying to get him down, but a nice counter found by Stud. And Lance desperately needs a counter here, and he does find one. However, responding in kind, both of them want to keep this belt. Fletcher desperate to show that Northern Voyage was a fluke. Gage trying to show that him being a champion is something well earned. However, another series of atomic drops, something that he is struggled to deal with throughout this match. And now lined up by Stud. This time he does not find the counter, and Fletcher Stud will once again be your vanquisher champion. God, I wish I knew how this match would have gone had I not had to drag the AI kicking and screaming back into the ring. However, Fletcher, once again, has survived the rematch. That said, The next loss he has for this belt will mean the last time he holds it for the foreseeable future. As this rematch clause has to be re-earned. Okay, let me update the champion news. Will this go the same way as yesterday? Yesterday, Marcella Jade regained her Ascendant Championship in the penultimate match of the evening, and Hacksaw Howard retained. Half of Northern Voyage was undone, while half was maintained. But will that happen tonight? It is going to be Hannah Mortis taking on Lilith Matsumoto in what is, in at least in theory, a mostly friendly championship match. But we will have to see if that is truly the case here. We saw last week that things got a little bit heated during that match. And that's the bottom line, because wish, whoa. And now refereeing the last match of the evening. It is going to be once again Jimmy Long. I swear that the men in TCWC trade the belts back and forth so much more than the women's division.
The following contest is a special referee match and is for...
It is not, Mr. Rome. You are uninformed.
Please welcome the
Well, in 2K25, it's no. I'm gonna say is, Captain, I know you held the title as AJ Phoenix. Look at every other division and how much those titles were traded. Now, one way or another, the Legion and the Final Testament will find a victory here tonight. But who is going to be leaving as champion? Will the husband and wife duo of Lucius and Hannah once again both be Capital Champions? Or will Lilith keep this belt? That's true, Ken. That's very true. The Ascendant division was held by Cameron for a while, and then it rotated immensely. The Capital Championship changed just about every other pay-per-view. Look, like she ruined my life, and I'm here for it. Oh my god. And glad to be bringing out this belt. It is Lilith Matsumoto. Lilith is now a two-time Capital Champion as of Northern Voyage. But will this reign be cut short? That is the real question here. One way or another, this belt will stay within the rebellion. But who will hold it?
Introducing the challenger. From St. Paul, Minnesota, Hannah Mortis. And her opponent, from Kona, Hawaii, the Women's Classic Champion, El Jefe Lilith Matsumoto.
Jimmy Long here to referee this match in the final match of the week. Immediately starting with a bit of chain wrestling, Lilith getting control of the hold. Can she maintain this control? Gain some good torque onto the abdomen of Hannah so far. However, can she transition? She can into a pin. There's one. Nice and quick kick out. Tries to find one of her own. But again, neither one of them find what they want. And there is a backslide. Hannah only down for one. 3 pin attempts later, and they are straight back to this chain wrestling. Got the arm caught yet again. Lilith getting control of the chain wrestling. Good torque onto the shoulder of Mortis. The neck region is a region of persistent injury, though, for Hannah. So if Lilith can start trying to find offense to that area, she will get probably more control. And as I say so, she does go for it. But it also will probably get Hannah a bit more aggressive. Trying to cut off the breath and get more torque onto the head, but indeed unable to maintain hold on the neck. Hannah was trying to escape, but now torque onto the shoulder. Lilith still in control of this hold, and Hannah struggling thus far. Former champion finally fights out of the hold and immediately goes back to it. This has not gone your way, Hannah. You need to stop looking for this. Torque onto the shoulder yet again. And Hannah can just not get control of this. However, off the rope she goes, but the drop kick misses. But she does find an elbow to the head of Lilith to try and get some measure of control back. Lilith moves out of anything more from Hannah, though, and there is a big knee strike. An attempt now out of Lilith. There's one, but only going to be that one. Good evasion out of Mortis. And now Lilith sent over into the corner. Hannah trying to figure out how she wants to continue. Puts her into that corner. And nice suplex in the center of the ring. Does not try and turn it into a pin, but does get stomped onto the back. And Hannah definitely a bit worked up after that repeated headlocks from Lilith. What am I saying? Cassidy getting the attention of Hannah very briefly. Jimmy Long a play on the way in. Not that I'm aware of. Very possible, not that I'm aware of. Double A spine buster has landed, but there's one, there's two. Hannah does not go out for a three just yet. Lucia staying uninvolved up until now. Returning the favor of Cassidy Lee's interference on Mortis. And now Hannah. Reversed on the Irish whip. And there's a nice thrust kick. Being dragged into the center of the ring. And now stomped to the arm. Lined up for that H-bomb. However, turnbuckle has been removed, and Jimmy ignores it to go for the pinfall and kick out for Hannah. But that was a crafty attempt from Lucius. Lilith up from the top rope. Hannah cannot get into control, and there is another big forearm. For the pin again. We've got one, we've got two, and there is three. Lilith Matsumoto dominates that match and will still be your Capital Champion. Hannah Mortis once again could not even get her foot in the door. And systematically dismantled.
Here is your winner, and still Women's Classic Champion, El Jefe Lilith Matsumoto.
The Final Testament and Legion do get one win, but it is not the wins they were hoping for. That will be it for me tonight. Thank you guys for stopping into Tussle for this evening. We will be live once again next week, Monday and Tuesday, for more Tussle and Melee. I am going to try find some time to do a team fight manager stream for people who are interested in that half of things. But next big event, July 24th, will be TCWC Kingdom Come. But I'm tired, so I'm not going to linger for too long tonight. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. And if anyone is interested in going over to the Discord, who is not already in it, witness your chats now. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. And I will catch you guys in the next one.